What's up guys, it's Crash, and the second closed beta for the finals is live. If you guys don't know, made by Embark Studios on the Unreal Engine 5 with a massive amount of server-side destruction by former Battlefield developers. That's why we've been kind of interested in it on this channel, and I'm going to show you how you guys can potentially reserve your spot in line for the closed beta access. I hope they are allowing more people in this go around, because I know a lot of you guys are really itching to play this. And allegedly, according to their Twitter, if you did play the first one, you did get back into the second one. That was the case for me. I played in the first one. I was able to get access into this one, and I played the new mode. I want to talk about that just a little bit. It plays quite a bit different, and it kind of fixes some of the gripes that I had with the initial beta test. And then I want to talk about the new weapons. There are a couple new weapons that are interesting and some other little changes here and there, but I definitely want to talk to you guys about this beta and what is new and how the game plays in its current state. But the first things first, what you guys potentially clicked on this video for is how to get into it. And the way you can do that is head over to the Steam page. I will leave a link down in the description, and about halfway down on the page, there will be a request playtest access on your guys' screen. It should be a green button, and you can click that and you will reserve your spot in line. And I really hope they do allow some more folks in here, as this game is supposed to launch later on this year. I'm really hoping they start to stress test these servers and we start to get into the final aspects of this launch, because as you guys know, if you get into it, and you can see from the gameplay, it plays really smooth. There's still some lower frame rate issues that I haven't got a chance to adjust my graphic settings and see what I can do. I'm not sure where they're at with the console build either. As you guys know, we are on PC. So the first thing I want to talk about beyond getting into the beta itself is the new game mode, and they added a 3v3v3 quick match mode, where what they changed was you have infinite respawn coins. If you guys remember, if you played the finals, like the tournament style mode, where it started out with 24 people and gradually went down, and you had to make the top few to advance to the next round and eventually the finals. By what you do in this game is collect cash. You basically start a vault, start unlocking it, you defend it. If you defend it at the time it expires, you get the money, and then you run to a cash out station where you deposit it, and then while that money is depositing, you also have to hold that objective. Now, I want to talk about how I think, spoiler alert guys, I think if they made that dynamic and broke down the cash values just a little bit, it can make the game a lot more rewarding. But what this quick match essentially does is it takes a lot of the frustrating parts from that tournament mode. In my opinion, you have unlimited respawn coins, so you can get in there. The matches last a lot longer rather than being a really short round. And one of my gripes was occasionally, if there was a cash out station located, there were a couple of them located closer to another team, and they could get a cash out before the other teams could even get there. Then they could get in an uncatchable state, and essentially the round was over. You know, halfway through, there was no way to catch them if they deposited a large amount of cash. In the game that I played in this quick play, it stayed competitive the entire time, and there is only one cash out station, so the fighting and the destruction and all the gadgets and everything are kind of centralized around one location, which I really did like. And then if you were unable, if your team was still alive, you're able to respawn pretty quickly. If your team was wiped, you had to wait just a little bit longer to respawn, and there was a lot of respawn. Why did I say that? Respawn. And then there was also ways to, as you guys know, you can revive your teammates, and all that stuff is still in there. But what this mode really did was it takes the waiting out. There were times when you would actually run out of coins and you'd have to observe your team for a really long time, and you could kind of just sit there. And this isn't a game like Rainbow Six Siege where you can, you know, watch cams and make call outs and kind of help your team. You pretty much just had to sit there if you ran out of respawn coins, and that is not the case here. There's unlimited ammo. You can keep reloading, keep fighting. And how this game mode's set up, I don't think there's actually a case where winning is unattainable. It seems like you can always win. Now, one of the changes that I would make to this 3v3v3 mode is I think it would be really cool if it was dynamic. In the game that I played, our team, I had the highest score of the entire lobby. No big deal. It's not a big deal. But I had the highest score of the whole lobby, but my team got last place, because what we did was we would often fight really well, do really good, unlock the cash, and then take it across the map to the upload station, to the cash out drop, and then we would hold that point all the way up until almost the end, and then lose it right at the end. So even though we held it for 90% of the time, if someone comes in and steals it and then holds it, then they are the ones that actually get the entire $10,000 in this mode. It would be really cool if it was a little bit dynamic, and it kind of would dish out points a little bit like Hardpoint. However long you held it is how much cash you got. Would make it maybe just a little bit more rewarding. That game was a little bit frustrating because we would hold it right up until the end, and then it would get stolen at the end. But I guess that's on us, and we have to do better. But overall, overall, I can really see myself sinking some more time into this quick play mode. I think I like it quite a bit better. It makes more sense. It seems more balanced, and it seems like the matches themselves are going to be quite a bit more competitive. For some reason, the gunplay felt smoother. I don't know if this is the case. The netcode felt a little bit better, but along the lines of gunfights, there are a couple new weapons that I think you're going to be interested in checking out. The XP54, which, if I'm not mistaken, is very similar to the MP5. It's a little bit slower firing rate than the M11 that's in the game, but it has more damage and a little bit more range for long range engagements. As you guys know, SMGs go with the light body build, and then the FCAR, which is actually the SCAR, it has a slower firing rate compared to the AK, but improved accuracy over long distances. So it sounds like for these, at least, they're adding stuff for longer distances. The same can be said for the LMG, which is the Lewis gun. You guys know what that looks like as Battlefield 1 and 5 fans. You know what the Lewis gun looks like, and it was added, and it is also something that has more accuracy, a little bit slower fire rate, but a little bit more accuracy over long distances. So it sounds like they were able to add guns that were a little bit better over distance in this. So I would say when you start to think about how you set up the site after you start the cash out and you have to hold that, we used our jump pads and got up on some roofs and we're able to hold it from a distance, and I think that's kind of going to be a way you can play if you unlock some of these new weapons. But yeah, guys, if you can get into it, I highly recommend giving it a try, giving the devs your feedback, because one of the things that I really appreciate that they're doing is this actually does feel like a true beta, where we already had one iteration of the closed beta. They've made some changes. The game feels better to me. This new kind of game mode takes away a lot of the issues I had with the tournament style as far as competitiveness and balance, and I really like it quite a bit. I think it can hold my attention a little bit longer because the matches seem pretty fun. So I appreciate that they're actually doing that. So hopefully you guys can get in and get some feedback in a true actual beta where they're able to take this and improve it. And I really think that as far as this game is concerned, at the state that it's in, where it feels really smooth already, I think launch could go pretty well for this game. Really, I'm kind of down to the only thing I'm worried about is if this game mode can hold mine and everyone's attention. And at the end of the day, we need to keep an eye on what Nexon is going to do with microtransactions and that stuff moving forward, as they are the publisher and owners of Embark Studios. Anyway, guys, I wanted to give you a quick rundown of what has changed and what has been added to the beta, as well as hear from you guys if you're playing it, what you think of it so far. I would love to hear from you down below and give you guys a rundown and my initial thoughts. It was the goal of today's video, and get you guys signed up to get into the beta. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it so much, especially if you've made it to the end of the video. That's incredibly kind, and I hope to see you later on.